My next Patreon question is from Morgan, and it's in regards to a long-running webcomic. I'm curious to know your thoughts on Rick Griffin's Housepets, a slice-of-life comedy about pets. Think Garfield if it crossed the zaniness of Calvin and Hobbes. I'll be curious to know your thoughts about it, any favorite story arc, and any characters or things that stood out to you. Before Morgan asked me this question, I admit I never heard of this comic before, although it has been running since 2008, and it has won several awards. The series revolves around these anthropomorphic animals, many of whom are pets. However, they exist in a world where they mingle with humans and participate in a lot of the same entertainment as we do. There's a lot of archival material to catch up on with this comic, so I obviously have not read the whole thing. However, the website has a handy drop-down menu that allows you to go to the different story arcs, so I read the ones that most caught my interest. What I read was certainly amusing, and there are a decent amount of funny moments with these animals. I actually found the funniest parts involved how it played with our knowledge of dogs, cats, and other animals. For example, there's a series of strips where the main dog and cat characters visit the zoo. A number of humorous scenarios play out based on the idea of these pets interacting with animals who reside at the zoo. There's a funny bit where a tiger gets annoyed at people reading the information in front of them out loud due to obviously dealing with this every day. There's another one where the cat gets annoyed at rules enforced on him before entering the bird enclosure. Rick Griffin seems to have put a lot of thought into this world and how things work. There's another story arc I read where they visit the shopping mall, and the comedy there comes from observations made by the characters. Why, yes, malls do have too many clothing stores. There's another one where the animals go to a theme park, and this plays on some of the typical oddities of amusement parks. Having it try to cater to animals just adds another element of humor to the mix. The comic mostly centers on the dog and cat duo of peanut butter and grape jelly. It's the expected dynamic of the excitable dog and the sarcastic cat, but it largely works. There are several other characters, but these two, along with an incredibly wealthy dog, were the ones that most stood out to me. As I said, I like the Garfield-style strips with their observational humor and witty remarks. I had a bit more difficulty diving into the bigger and more story-heavy arcs, but that might be blamed on the way I perused Housepets. Maybe if I started right from the beginning, rather than picking collections at random, I would be more invested. However, they still felt very wordy to me, with these speech bubbles taking up a large amount of space, and I guess I prefer my comics with the drawings telling as much of the story as the dialogue. A lot of the time, a character's annoyed reaction can say so much more. Regarding the art style of Housepets, Griffin is clearly an extremely talented artist, and even though these are anthropomorphic animals, he definitely tries to make each distinct and identifiable. His characters are expressive, and also detailed when they have to be, and I don't find myself comparing his style to other comics. As you can see, his art is very much of the furry variety, but it fits with the established world he created. I'm not a furry, but I understand the appeal of that culture. I think too many people focus on the stranger or kinkier aspects brought about by some, but I've long gotten the impression those are outliers. Most people I'm aware of who are furries just like stories revolving around anthropomorphic animals. And as we've seen in films like Zootopia and animated series like BoJack Horseman, these can lead the way to a lot of creative stories and ideas. Housepets definitely falls into that with its take on pets and how they view the world in addition to the relationship they share with humans. That Rick Griffin has kept the series going since 2008 and continues to build the world and universe of these characters deserves commending. What I read was certainly funny and witty and well drawn, and if what I described sounds interesting to you, give it a look. If you've read Housepets, let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for your question, Morgan.